Hello, comic book fans, and welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Thursdays. Today I have something pretty special to bring to all of you, and that is Ultimate Comic Books All New SpiderMan. And this is pretty good here. So, as you can see from the cover, Spider-Man is in a different suit, but we flip over to the back, and we got somebody new who is the Spider-Man. So if you haven't been up to date with Ultimate Comics or anything, Peter Parker has died, and this kid, he got bit by a radioactive spider shortly before Peter Parker died, and now he is the new Spider-Man. So pretty much this whole thing is just kind of this first graphic novel is dealing with him becoming Spider-Man and what he's going to do with his newfound powers. He is a kind of a poor kid, comes from poverty, and his family they enroll him into this sweepstakes thing to get a scholarship to a prestigious high school or grade school, whatever it is, and he ends up winning. So he's in this very nice school and one that he wouldn't normally be able to afford on his family salary. And he has a best friend named Nate. If I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly. And the before I keep going on, I should probably tell you his name. His name is Miles Morales, and it's a really, really good story, a different take on Spider-Man, and I'm going to continue to review more of the Spider-Man series. The rest of the ones that I'll review will be individual comics that I've purchased, but Miles, he becomes Spider-Man. His friend, he tells his friend Nate about how he has these spider abilities, and he's like, dude, Peter Parker just died. You need to honor him. You need to honor his name and become the next Spider-Man. And so he does. He buys a Spider-Man costume off online, one that was like Peter Parker's, and he goes around and he starts doing Spider-Man things. And one thing about Spider-Man, he made his own web fluid, so he doesn't have any web shooters or anything like that. So he can't swing around. So he pretty much just runs around, jumping rooftop to rooftop and things like that. He also has a spider power that Spider-Man did not have, Peter Parker Spider-Man, and he calls it his Venom Blast. He can channel it into his hand and then touch somebody, and they are put into shock. So the as I was saying before, he buys a Spider-Man costume off the internet, and that's who he's gonna be. He uses his costume to go out on patrols and things like that. And everybody's like, whoa, I thought Spider-Man died, all these criminals, and he's going out there and fighting them. And it comes to find out, they're like, I guess this guy's Spider-Man. But S.H.I.E.L.D. Knows about him, and they show up. This here is Spider-Woman. She's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. She comes to kind of like, what the heck are you doing? Who are you? And all this. And he gets to sit down and talk with Nick Fury about being Spider-Man. And they tell him, kid, you got to be really careful what you're doing. We don't want to see you end up like Peter Parker, pretty much. So, but he kind of proves to everyone he's got what it takes, and then at the end of the volume, Nick Fury gives him his own Spider-Man suit, because everybody was telling him it's in bad taste you going around being Spider-Man in the old Spider-Man suit. So it's a really good read. Go ahead and check it out if you got the money. This is hardcover. It looks like I paid $25 for it, but I'm sure you can get it in paperback now, so it will be a little bit cheaper. And look forward to more reviews of the Ultimate Spider-Man. So let's get right into our buy list for this week. First up, I've got Saga. This is issue 22, and this is a pretty interesting read. A friend of mine recommended it to me, and I've really enjoyed it. It's kind of a space odyssey, um, kind of like Star Wars, Star Trek kind of thing, but there's drugs and sex and things in it, and it's really cool. A bunch of different alien races in it, and I really like this. This is done by Image, the same company that is putting out The Walking Dead. Next up, we have Detective Comics issue 1, Future Ends, right here, and this one's pretty cool. I don't think right there you can kind of see it. It's a hologram cover. And right now, this is the Marvel event, or not the DC event. My bad. And pretty much it's 5 years into the future, and the future ends. So this is Detective Comics of it. I'm going to be following the Batman stuff. So I don't know much about it, but it's maybe talk. Oh, that's cool. Even the back is holographic. There's a Conan promo on the back. And that's holographic too. That's pretty cool. Next up, we got Justice League 33. The Justice League stuff has been phenomenal. The first 8 issues, I got hooked. It was like when they first started to they first came together and stuff. I don't know if I've talked about Justice League yet, but Justice League is pretty awesome. They're dealing with the aftermath of Forever Evil event. So, really good read. Next up, we got issue 3 of Spider-Man 2099, and the Superior Spider-Man, 2099 Spider-Man got trapped back into the past, and so now this is 2099 Spider-Man running around in our present day. And things are getting pretty interesting. He works for the company that his grandfather is a part of, and eventually his son is going to own it, which is going to be his dad, and he's the bad guy of his time period. So he's working for them, and he's kind of has a few love interests in it, and it's kind of cool. Next up, we got Death of Wolverine issue 1. I don't know much about this. I just saw Death of Wolverine. I know they've been leading up to this. I've seen it advertised in a lot of different Marvel comics. And so apparently Wolverine's going to die, and this is it. He's had the series going right now, A Month to Live. So now we have issue 1, Death of Wolverine, and it's going to be a 4-parter. And I'm interested to read it. Wolverine's one of my favorite X-Men. And lastly, we have Original Sin issue 8, and pretty much this is the last issue of Original Sin. It's 8 of 8. I haven't read issue 7 yet, but I'm going to read it pretty soon. This is on the top of the list of things I'm going to be reading. And I'm excited to see what happens. Like I said, I think in the last video I put, or not the last video, but the last weekly bi-weekly buy list, I had issue 7 on there, and the Watcher's dead, and they're dealing with the consequences of that, and they there's a whole thing with Nick Fury that's going on, so I'm really interested to see how it ends. So that's it. That's my bi-weekly buy list. This isn't everything I bought at the comic book store today, but those were the most interesting ones, and those were the most up-to-date ones within this week and last week. So with that, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to see more content from me, and I'll see you guys next week on the next Comic Book Thursdays.